Hey, what's up everybody? I am Jason and you're watching my channel Micro Investor. So in this video we're going to be talking about my favorite Chinese electric vehicle company, NIO. Now if you are somebody new here, I've been talking about NIO since day one when this company went public. I've been making videos here on YouTube since 2018 and I made hundreds of them. I'm not a very big hype YouTuber. I don't do this for money. I do this for just fun and entertainment purposes. I'm not a financial advisor or anything. And I just love many different stocks, and NIO is definitely one of them. And I've had a lot of experience with this company, so I want to just share my views about NIO in this video and talk about the changes in the company over the years, as well as where do I see NIO going from here. So as we get into it, if you guys don't mind, please do me a huge favor and please be sure to smash, destroy, and annihilate that like button, because that helps me out with the YouTube algorithm and it helps spread my video to more people that might find it interesting. Also, subscribe if you have not already, and if you want to join my Patreon, I do have a link in the description with a private Discord attached to it, and thank you to everybody that has become a Patreon. Alright, now let's get to it. As you can see, NIO is taking quite a hit here recently. Just not that long ago, NIO was trading for around $60+ a share. Actually, if you look at the 52-week range here, NIO has been trading between $2.11 and about $67. So the stock is coming down a bit right now, but still, in my personal opinion, this still isn't that much to be cautious about, especially when you're looking at how much this stock has gone up in such a short period of time. And this isn't really even a price that is affected by the pandemic. NIO was already in a situation before the pandemic even happened, so just keep that in mind too. Now, my experience with talking about NIO over the years is in 2018, a lot of people were speculative of the company, and in 2019, a lot of people really hated the company. But I always talked about these catalysts that this company was having to expect in the future. Then when we get into 2020, a little rocky start, but really what happened was people started recognizing the catalyst, and NIO was starting to perform a lot better. And then we get into all the hype that started going on with this company, where people had expectations that were much higher than the company could even perform. And I noticed that a lot when I would be talking about them. I'd be saying things where I would kind of predict the stock, and people would make claims saying, hey, it's going to hit $100 before 2020 even ends. So that's where a lot of people's mindsets were with this company, was that it was just going to grow on this rate and not stop anywhere. It was just going to continue growing like it was Bitcoin or something. Now, for those of you that don't know, when NIO first became a public company, they only had the ES8 originally, and then they released the ES6, and then things started to perform better. But then they ran into some financial problems before the pandemic even happened, and the stock tanked. And then the pandemic, they weren't able to sell any vehicles, so they had very poor delivery numbers when they reported their Q1 2020. But then when people started buying vehicles again, their sales just started hitting new highs, and they released their EC6, and that also really helped out their performance. So a lot of this was just them selling the ES8 and the ES6, and then the EC6 came later on. And they've also had to make expansions to make more vehicles, but still the numbers for Q4 2020, as they're much higher than they were in Q3 2020, they're still not up to par where many people had expected that to be. Even though if you're looking at the growth from Q1 2020 to Q4 2020, you'd say, hey, that's impressive if they've grown that much. But to some people, they don't see it that way. They see it as very poor numbers that are being reported. Now let's look at the recent stuff here, and that is their delivery numbers of January and February of 2021. So in January 2021, they delivered 7,225 vehicles, but that number shrunk in February of 2021, where they only delivered 5,578 vehicles. Now there's a couple things though you have to also keep in mind here, is that February is a shorter month, so that also does play a factor in them delivering less vehicles. And also, when you look at where NIO was back in just like 5-6 months ago, it was amazing if they could hit 5,000 vehicles a month. So really, you have to look at where this company has gone from. They're still trying to expand. They're going through growing pains, really, which is something that's going on here. Let's look at the breakdown of deliveries for February 2021. So Their largest SUV, their ES8, they delivered 1,327 of them. And their a little bit more smaller SUV, their ES6, they sold or delivered 2,216 of them. And their crossover type vehicle, very similar to Tesla's Model Y, their EC6, they delivered 2,035 of them. And something to look forward to, since NIO already told us what their delivery numbers were for the first 2 months of the year, that NIO is expecting the first quarter of 2021 to be between 20,000 and 20,500 vehicles, representing an increase of approximately 421 to 435% from the same quarter of 2020, and an increase of approximately 15% to 18% from the fourth quarter of 2020. So they're looking at selling between 7,200 and 7,800 vehicles in March of 2020. Now, as far as my opinion of NIO stock right now, looking at it at $43 a share, where it's at the time of filming this, I think that that's a much better price for the stock. Even if it was to come down even more, let's get the stock back into a buying opportunity instead of looking at it as something that is just being overhyped. Now, NIO has great things, though, to really look at. If we look at NIO's gross margins, how things have just gotten better for them over time, the gross margins for the full year of 2020 was 11.5% compared to a negative 15.3% for the full year of 2019. And the vehicle margin in the fourth quarter of 2020 was 17.2% compared to a negative 6% in the fourth quarter of 2019 and 14.5% in the third quarter of 2020. The increase in vehicle margins compared to the fourth quarter of 2019 and the third quarter of 2020 was jointly driven by the increase of delivery volume of the vehicles in the fourth quarter of 2020, as well as the decrease in purchase price of certain product materials. Now, at the moment, NIO still has a ways to go before they're an income positive company, but with the margins getting better and more vehicles that they keep selling, the closer and closer that they're going to be to hitting that mark. Plus, they're spending quite a bit of money on trying to be able to expand production, to be able to produce more vehicles, and in that way, they'll be able to hit those numbers much better. We can see those margins getting better and better as time goes on. Now, at the end of the fourth quarter of 2020, NIO reported that they still had quite a bit of money. They had $6.5 billion on their balance sheet. Now, I'm sure they've blown through a bit of that already in the first couple of months of 2021, but that money can go to great uses with expansions that they need to do, especially that they already have another vehicle launch lined up for 2022, and that is their ET7, which they showcased on NIO Day. Now, this is a sedan. NIO doesn't have a sedan at the moment, so this is a market that they can tap into and probably do really well with sales, especially that Tesla's Model 3 is doing really well in China. So this lets them compete better, and hopefully it's just another great catalyst for NIO. Now, as far as my bullish thoughts on NIO, I think that there's still a lot more to come from him. I think that they just need to really solve the issue of production. And if they could do that and they can solve the production issue and start being able to produce 10,000 plus vehicles a month and get their costs down a bit and be able to sell better, more priced vehicles, that's going to be huge for them. And they're going to be very competitive. But until they can do that, it's still going to be setting them a bit behind. But the market is there in China. They have the name recognition and they have the whole lifestyle thing that goes with NIO that they really like to push. So if they can get all those things solved, I can easily see that this stock is just going to skyrocket, especially when the ET7 comes out. I can see just great things happening from there, like we saw from 2020 to 2021. But anyways, I'd like to hear your guys' thoughts on NIO. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. New videos coming out on my channel all the time. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you all in the next video coming very soon.